Today's baseball adventure it is a long weekend, and I am here on a very hot Saturday afternoon. And I'm wearing my workout clothes because I got a lot of work to do today, and because it's crazy hot in here, because our AC is not working. I don't like that. So I got a few things I'm going to try to do today. We'll see how many I get through. But the first one on the list is I'm going to calibrate the speed of the radar gun. And then, once I get that working, I'm going to try to get it to input over here so that I can see it on my broadcast, and so that all the fans watching at home can see the miles per hour of the pitch on the broadcast as well. So we're gonna see how that works, see if I can get that done. And then after that, I got a few other things I want to get to. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to calculate the distance from the mound to the radar gun. But then I also need to calculate the distance from the radar gun to the ground. And then I need to figure out the angle of the mound to the radar gun. And then I have to take the cosine of the angle and then input that number as the speed adjust into this device here to get accurate readings on the radar gun, onto the board, and hopefully onto my broadcast. So to do that, I've got this handy little device here, this laser measurer that I borrowed from my good former roommate who bakes. And we're going to shine this thing around and see if it can get some accurate readings as far as the distance goes. And then I'm going to have to do some math and figure out some angles. And then I'm going to have to do some cosines of those angles and figure out the speed adjust that I'm going to have to input into this device. If any of my current or former high school students are watching, I seem to have just found a practical application for trigonometry. So there you go. Alright, first thing we got to do is try to measure the distance here. So we'll fire this thing up and shine it down there. 26 feet. Alright, so the laser measure couldn't quite read, in the hot sun, couldn't quite read the distance from the mound to the backstop, or even from the plate to the backstop, because it's so bright out here. But I do have a nice big thing of measuring tape, so I'm just going to measure that out, and then we'll get that reading there. Alright, here's the mound to home plate, which is a distance we already know, but there it is. 60 feet and 6 inches, right on the money. They really nailed it. All right, we are at about 116 feet and 6 inches. Okay, so I know the distance from the mound to the backstop, and I know the distance from the radar gun to the ground, which is one side of our triangle, but I gotta add the distance from the backstop to the radar gun. So I'm gonna measure out through one of these tunnels here to the back wall, and then I can add that to the mound, and that should give me a pretty close approximation of the actual distance for that leg. Okay. All right, we are looking at about 55.5 feet minus the 1 foot that I used to tie it off there at the end. So 54.5. And that is about 8 feet and a couple inches from the radar gun to the back wall of the stadium. I took out the filters and cleaned them off in the air conditioner, played with some wires, and I think I actually have slightly colder air. All right, I think we got it all figured out. So here's the formula. I was able to take the distance, which the total ended up being 163 feet from the mound to the gun after I did all of the adjustments and all of the additions and subtractions. The gun is 26 feet up from the ground. And then I was able to calculate, using the formula, the square root of the length and the height squared equals about that. You put that over x, take that, and then we get that. And then we take the cosine of that, and we come out with 0.999961893. And that's the number that I have to enter into the machine. Math. All right, we have entered in the number that we got from the formula into this machine. And we're gonna take this little piece of paper and we're gonna throw it at the radar gun, and we're gonna see what it registers. Now, hopefully, it will register a number that seems reasonable. What we don't wanna see is 999 miles per hour, because that was a problem that we had before when we were trying to make these adjustments in the past. So hopefully the formula is correct. All right, here we go. 12. That is perfect. That is literally the exact number that I wanted to see, because when I used to throw paper at this before, I'd get around 10. And this is 2 miles per hour faster now than that, which is consistent with the readings that we've been getting between the different devices that we have. So this seems to be more accurate now. That's wonderful. So this is calibrated. Now it's time to see if we can get it into my computer for the broadcast. Yeah, this is no longer cold. That's just warm air. Okay, I'm under the desk here and I'm having some good success. I've been able to activate the additional COM ports on here, which is great. It means I can plug the radar gun directly to that. All I need is the RTD codes to put in there, but I don't know if I have those. So I might have to call the company to get them. Okay, this has been quite an adventure. So after testing a lot of cables, I was unable to get this device to connect to that device and give me green. If we get green here, in this little spot here, I have this one enabled, and if we get green right here, then amazing things happen. But I was unable to do that directly with the variety of cables which I have, and I have so very many. So what I've done is I've spliced into here, and I pulled some cable that was lying around, and I've wired in myself. So we are all the way over here. I've wired it into this little connector here, and we're gonna put it in and see if we get green. Okay, there we go. All right, that's probably not gonna work, but we'll find out. Yeah, doesn't look green. Wait, we have green. We have green. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. I am really close on this one. But I'm as far as I can go. I've got to talk to the software guys to get the correct source library data file before I can go any further, unfortunately. So it's a long weekend. They won't be in for at least several days, so I'm gonna have to pick up this project sometime next week. Oh, so close, so close.